This presentation will lead you through the analyzation that we did for, for the company Guinness and Co. And the annual report will start from the year 2012, 2013, and 2014. For the following group member includes Miriam, Elizabeth, Hyungji, Min Shin, and Gosu. Guinness and Co Berhad is a major producer of beer and stouts in Malaysia. It was formed in 1989 with the merger of Guinness Malaysia Berhad and Malaysia Brewers Sdn Berhad. It has been listed in the main board of Bursa Malaysia since 1965. About the core business, it is principally engaged in the production, packaging, marketing, and distribution of beverage, primarily alcohol. It also brews Tiger, Tiger Rattle, Guinness, Anakin, Encore Smooth, Encore Strong, Kilkenny, and Agla Shandy. It also produced the non-alcohol Maltao, and its market imported brands Strongbow and Pauline. Through its subsidiaries, the company also has operation in property holding and land development. Proceeding to the ratio, our first ratio would be the current ratio. Current ratio measures the firm's ability to meet its short-term obligation. For the following figures, it includes 2012 as 1.98, 2013 as 3.46, and 2014 as 1.42. This proved that Guinness and Co. had how many current assets to meet the requirements of its current liabilities. According to the calculation above, we can see that there was an increment that decreased in the ratios. This shows that the company was at its best during year 2013, for they had 3.46 times of current assets to meet the current liabilities at the time. However, it was too much for the optimal ratio should be ranged from 1.5 to 2.0. Although the position of the company was very strong in the year 2013, too much of a current asset makes them unproductive as it is not being fully utilized. Proceeding to the next ratio, which is quick ratio. Quick ratio is similar to current ratio except that it excluded inventory. So for the following figure, it shows that 2012 as 1.73, 2013 as 2.89, and 2014 as 1.22. The company has 2.89 times of liquid assets to meet the requirements or pay off its current liability in year 2014, which shows that they were becoming stronger as the years goes by and that there were a change in the position of long-term liabilities such as debentures and bank loans. They had a slight drop in ratio from year 2012 to 2013, which might be caused by the inventories factor being excluded for the year 2013, which caused the obvious difference compared to the other years. Will be the inventory turnover. Inventory turnover measures the speed with which various accounts has converted into sales or cash and the efficiency with which total assets are used. For the following figures includes 2012 as 4.07, 2013 as 3.91, 2014 as 5.15. It will show us the ability of company to sell off its inventory within how many times per year. From the turnover above, we will conclude that Guinness and Co was at their best year 2013 for it took them the less times, which is only 3.91 times a year to sell off their inventories. That might be caused by their aggressive marketing and promotion efforts as well as the improvement in the economy causing the increase in demand for their product as well. Next will be the debts turnover. Debts turnover is a measure by the accounts receivable over the average sales per day, meaning to say the amount of days required to be able to collect its payment from its credit customer for their first priority is credit sales. For the following figures, it shows that 2012 is 12.9, 2013 as 20.67, 2014 as 41.56. As shown above, it is clear that there was a fair increase in the receivable while decrease of annual sales. The days needed to collect payment from the debtors are increasing rapidly for Guinness and Co Company from 12.9 days in 2012 to 41.56 days in 2014. The company should encourage their debtors to pay up faster by giving extra units of products as appreciation or on-time discounts, or else tighten their credit terms and legal pursuit for their annual sales are decreasing as well. Thus, not a positive sign if the average collection period further increases. Next will be the total assets turnover. Total asset turnover measures the efficiency of a company in using their assets to boost the company's sales or income. For the following figure, it shows 2012 as 0.29, 2013 as 2.19, 2014 as 2.20. From the above, it illustrated to us clearly whereby Guinness and Co can generate 2.20 times of sales for every 1 ringgit worth of asset utilized in 2014, which means they can generate the sales in faster way as it more than doubled in the year 2014. At the same time, it also shows that there was a big gap or difference between the year of 2012 and 2013, which could probably mean that their business improved or a new strategy was implemented to boost sales in order to maximize their assets. In other words, Guinness and Coors knows how to boost the sales. To debt ratio. Debt ratio aids us in measuring the scales of total assets financed by creditors. For the following figures, it shows that at 2012, it is 0.61, 2013, it's 0.56, and 2014 at 0.51. As shown below, Guinness & Co was 61% of its total assets being financed by debts in 2012. This ratio is high, thus it also meant that the company was in a very high risk at the same time for most of their assets were financed by their creditors in debts form. Although the ratio in 2012 is high, from 2013 onward, the debt ratio decreased, which is a positive sign for they are able to finance their company with less debts. Next, following by time interest earned ratio. Time interest earned ratio measures the ability of the company to make the interest. As the figure shown above, it shows that 2012 as 14.35, 2013 as 6.54, 2014 as 8.84. As concluded above, Guinness & Co was 14.35 times of ability to pay off its interest in 2012. It showed that the company was 14.35 times higher ability than its interest expense that they needed for the year. The company can pay the interest before the due date. Based on the 3 years above, we would say that the company is doing pretty well, for they have a fair amount to pay off their interest. Following is gross profit margin. Gross profit margin measures the percentage of each dollar sales remaining after the firm has paid for its goods. For the following figure, it shows that 2012 at 0.06, 2013 at 0.045, and 2014 at 0.07. Based on the following calculation, for every 1 ringgit of sales, company will be able to generate a certain amount of gross profit out of it. In this case, they generate the most in year 2014 at 7 cents of gross profit per dollar earned. This may be due to the increasing of demand of the product leading to the increase in sales or due to a higher price given by suppliers. Following, it's the operating profit margin. Operating profit margin measures the percentage of each sales dollar remaining after all costs and expenses other than interest, taxes, and preferred stocks dividends are deducted. For the following figure, it shows 2012 as 0.06, 2013 as 0.0441, and 2014 as 0.066. According to the calculation above, for every 1 ringgit spent, the company will be able to generate the most operating profit at year 2013 at 6.6 cents per dollar earned. These changes can happen due to the rise in sales and demand of the product. Due to the fact that the company is able to reduce the costs and expenses, it was able to achieve the high profit margin above. Next, it will be the net profit margin. Net profit margin measures the percentage of each sales dollar remaining after all costs and expenses are paid off excluding interest, taxes, and preferred stocks dividends. For the following figure, it shows 2012 as 0.168, 2013 as 0.209, 0.4 2014 as 0.25. Based on the calculation above, in the year 2014, the company is able to generate 25 cents of net profit through each dollar earned. It is clearly shown above that there was a fair increment of figures, which is good for the company. This may occur due to the decrease of interest and taxes of the company that brings up the figures of the net profit. For the following calculation, it will be based on 50 cents instead of 1 ringgit per dollar earned by the shareholders. Following for the next ratio, which is the earning per share. Earning per share represents the number of dollars earned during the period on behalf of each outstanding common stock. For the following figures, it shows that 2012 at 0.45, 2013 at 0.54, 2014 at 0.62. Referring to the calculation above, it shows us that for every 50 cents of common stock equality, the company is able to earn the most of year 2014 for 62 cents, with a constant increase in earning per share. In year 2014, this proves that Guiness and Co is able to manage a better cost control and thus this increasing the profits of the company and enable earnings per share to increase. Next will be the return on total assets. Return on total assets measure the overall effectiveness of management in generating profits with its available assets. For the following figure, it shows 2012 at 0.371, 2013 at 0.534, and 2014 at 0.55. In year 2014, the company is able to generate 55 cents of net profit to shareholders from the total assets that they own. The rise of the percentage shown above is a positive sign of Guinness and Co is expanding their assets. Thus, it's a good news for their shareholders as well for promising dividends in the future and for the time being. Next will be the return on common equity. Return on common equity measure the return earned on the common stockholders' investment in the firm. As the figure shown above will be 2012 as 0.95, 2013 as 1.21, and 2014 as 1.12. Through the information that we obtained through the financial statement previously, we will note that for every 50 cents of capital invested, the company can generate the above numbers to its shareholders. Therefore, Guinness & Co was at its best in year 2013, for it was able to generate 1.1 ringgit and 21 cents to investors who invested for every 50 cents. This shows the significant events happened in Guinness & Co company. Guinness & Co Berhad's Oktoberfest celebration recently with an extra unique and very large giant replica of Oktoberfest 2014 promotional mug. The country's leading brewer unveiled Malaysia's biggest mug at their launch of the annual beer festival. Standing at a 2.6 m high and 1.72 m wide, the giant replica of its company-reowned Oktoberfest 2014 promotion mug created a new record that was endorsed by the Malaysia Book of Records at the event. The biggest mug, which took about a month to complete, is made out of fiberglass. The giant vessel, which can actually hold liquid, will be traveling the peninsula so consumers can have a closer look and partake in Malaysia's biggest mug Guess the Liter Challenge. The top 5 participants will provide the correct or closest estimated volume of liquid and receptacle can hold wins a year's supply of Tiger beers. Conclusion. Yes, we will invest 500,000 ringgit on Guinness and Co company. It's because based on the calculation and comments done on earning per share, it was proven that they are able to manage a better cost control and thus it increased the profits of the company and enables earning per share to increase as well. The second reason is because that there was a constant rise of percentage shown return on total assets, proving that Guinness and Co is expanding their asset. Thus, it's a good news for us as their shareholders, as well for promising dividends in the future and for the time being. That's all, and this is the end of our presentation. presentation. Thank